Sweetie, sweetie, we are all Negan.
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, the Nui channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing season 6 of The Walking Dead. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, so please forgive me if this is going to end up being very short. You'll soon find out why. So firstly, what was that? I started the season not knowing what's going on. Parts of the episode, like the flashbacks, basically were black and white, then switched to the present, then back to black and white. Really just annoyed me, and it didn't do much to help show a cohesive story narrative. Why not start the season in the past instead of using these flashback scenes? Honestly, who had a problem with the linear storytelling in the previous seasons? Because I'd like to have a word with you. This felt like an overcorrection to a non-existent problem. In fact, I'll just say it. I don't like the direction the story is going, and I don't see how they're going to go back. Now, this next part, I'm not even sure how to describe without being judgy and superficial. There's a whole plot I didn't bring up in the last season about Glenn going on a supply run with some of the Alexandria people, and how the sky panicked, and because of his actions, Noah died. Glenn actually warned the sky to stop going on runs because he's going to get himself and his friends killed because of his actions. Well, this season, in the middle of their very important mission, he kills himself, falling onto Glenn, and they both fall onto this group of walkers. By the way, we're still 6 seasons in, and they're still calling them walkers and not zombies. I still don't get why we're calling them that. It looks like their world pre-apocalypse was the same as ours. So how come there's no zombie media, zombie fiction in their world? Or maybe it's disrespectful to the dead to call them zombies? No, that still wouldn't make sense because walkers sound worse to me somehow. And since I'm still going on this random tangent, a few years ago at my old job, they gave out joke awards, and someone got an award called The Walking Dead because they always come to work tired and walk very slowly. Now that I'm thinking back on it, I have no idea how HR approved that. Even the certificates were laminated. My joke award was Most Confidential Agent, which was because I was so quiet. I don't know. I still don't get the joke. But anyways, back to season 6. I thought Glenn died, and I got so pissed off. And that was episode 3, by the way. I got so pissed off, and I just stopped watching the show. What a stupid death. None of our group was even there to see it. So they would have just gone on not knowing. And to do that to Glenn of all people. It was just the betrayal of not giving him a memorable death that really set me off. Compare that to Tyrese's death. Yeah. And I really hated that guy. I don't even remember his name. That guy and his rat face. And that's why I say I was being superficial and judgy, because that's the actor's real face and I know nothing about him. And also, physical appearance doesn't determine a person's character. But his face definitely looks rat-faced to me. So then I stopped watching the show. I really can't even express how much anger I had with how Glenn's storyline played out. And then my mother gave me a huge spoiler that I'm still processing. It was something about season 7. But that made me realize Glenn was still alive in season 6, so I continued the season after that. But the episodes, and trust me, I don't say this lightly, the episodes seemed to drag, and they were really uneventful until Glenn re-enters. Maybe because I was waiting for that moment he's going to re-enter. And Daryl's storyline was boring, as was Sasha and Abraham and their totally forced chemistry. Things just work better when the gang is all together. I don't get why they're giving so much screen time to newer characters like Ron, the doctor lady, and Enid, who I really don't like. I mean, is that it? Are we done exploring stories from the original group? I think the cast is too big at this point and the writers don't know what to do with everyone. Okay, fair enough, but as with any gang, the rule is last in, first out. I'm just kidding. I don't even know if that's true. I just made that up. But I still stand by that. Killing off all the extras, if it means Rick, Carl, Daryl, Carol, Glenn, and my Sean can stay together. That's what I want. The first half of season 6 has everyone separated. It's almost a repeat of what happened after the governor destroyed the prison, but with different pairings and even less story. Honestly, that journey to, what was it, Terminus, was more interesting than this. So to me, after episode 3, when it looks like Glenn died, the pacing was off. The entire next episode was about Morgan's past experience meeting this guy, learning to use the staff, and about his new policy of not wanting to kill anyone. If I looked at it objectively, it was a solid episode. But I was still too focused on Glenn to fully invest. And when they finally show him he's with Enid and all the hype I was feeling waiting for the big reveal that he's still alive died, I really don't like Enid. But the show is not totally without hope, though. I really liked the mid-season episode. Can't remember the name. No Way Out or something like that. The group hold hands covered in walker blood as they literally walk amongst the walkers. The montage of everyone killing walkers. The river of fire that destroys the walkers. Everything was so good. Then the next episode happens sometime after that, and Alexandria is okay-ish. My Sean and Rick are a couple, which I can see, but I'm not sold on. They really downgraded her role in the group, and even though she's still one of the strongest characters, they still need to give her a storyline, so why not this romance, I guess? But whatever, the people have no food, so they make a deal with another group that they'll trade with them and whatnot if they take down Negan's gang. And Rick, Daryl, and the gang are so overconfident. They literally start a war with these people. Our group are no longer the good people. We get small throwaways like Glenn crying as he kills men in their sleep, but for the most part they no longer question where's the line and what it means to be human anymore. It's all just survival at any cost. Even when they do have questions like Carol, they still do it. So what was the point? In a way, people like Dale and Herschel would have never coped in this world. I do wonder if Shane would have, though. So because my mother spoiled the season for me by telling me something that's going to happen in season 7, at this point I thought they were going to lose to the Saviors here. But they actually survived with no fatalities. And now thanks to this, the whole town of Alexandria has food supplies because they can trade with other groups. We get yet another moment when an unspecified amount of time passes, and then the most exciting episode of the season, the last one, happens. So yeah, I don't really keep track of the episodes' names, but you just know season 6, the last episode, episode 16. This is one of the first real battles our group loses. Way worse than the governor destroying the prison. It's like the governor and Rick's group were more or less balanced, but the Saviors are just on another level. Maggie is having labor pains. Carol left the group. Daryl went after the burnt-faced guy that killed Denise and stole his bow. So Rick and his caravan gang are led in circles. Each time they're making deviations, they get redirected by roadblocks the Saviors already planned out. Until finally they get led to this place. And they realize they're surrounded. Everyone is whistling, and over that is this really unsettling music. To be honest, I'm really angry my mother spoiled this moment for me by telling me the Saviors win. Anyways, as much as I genuinely avoid watching anything on YouTube about The Walking Dead, so that I don't get spoiled, I do see thumbnails and I know the name Negan and I know the face of Negan. So I was confused at first when I saw this guy. I started thinking maybe this was the first Negan and maybe they replaced the actor later on.
Sweetie, sweetie, we are all Negan.
But then when he knocks on the trailer door and Negan comes out holding his barbed wire bat, I was like, oh, now I see. This was all built up to introduce this guy. This actor has real presence, if you know what I mean. The season ends in a cliffhanger from the point of view of the person he's beating up. But as I mentioned, my mother already spoiled it for me, so I need at least 2 business days before I start watching season 7. So overall, I didn't like the season. It did have moments of being good, and those moments where everything fit together. The writing, acting, the music. But I'm not watching 16 episodes for 2 isolated episodes of brilliance. I don't know. I'm just speaking for myself here. They downgraded Daryl, Carol, Carl, Michonne, Glenn, even Rick was hardly even the focus in most episodes. Tara and Denise should not have been given so much screen time. They deliver lines like they're learning English for the first time. So anyways, thanks for watching. Maybe check out some of my other videos and subscribe. Or maybe you can watch when I make a new video on season 7. Anyways, thanks for watching and bye.